Hello, this is Ted Argyle from Adrenalin Martial Arts Centre, and welcome to day 24 of 30, where I explore the 30 lessons that I've learnt as a full-time martial artist, a full-time martial arts instructor, and as a business owner for the last 20 years. I've just finished my last class for the week. It's Saturday morning. We had jiu-jitsu this morning, which was really fun, and I just wanted to shoot this quick little video before I head home for lunch. Today I wanted to talk about something I've learnt as somebody who's self-employed or who has a business, and that's the importance of having professional advice. Meaning that in business we need financial advice, we need legal advice, and we need business development advice. So just to talk about each one of those briefly, as far as financial advice goes, a lot of the times our accountant can do that. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It depends on who you've got. I'm very fortunate with the accountant that I have in that he provides me with 4 or 5 different services, which I avail myself to. Not to say that I'm some big financial gun who's got millions of dollars in the bank, or I'm driving my Ferrari to and from work or anything like that. But certainly you need someone who can help you with your tax. You need someone who can help you with superannuation. You need somebody who can look over your books for the year to make sure you're on track and on target. And a good accountant will provide that service for you. And I think it's being willing to use that service and also be willing to pay for that service. They say that a good accountant will save you, the amount you pay in your fees for the year. They'll save you that in tax. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but the one thing I do know is that my accountant certainly alleviates a lot of stress for me for the year, and it allows me just to focus on what I do best, which is to teach martial arts classes and not manage tax and superannuation and things like that. As far as legal advice goes, if you're finding that you're having to go to the court every 2 or 3 weeks because someone's making a claim, I think you seriously need to look at how you're running your business. But I think it's important to have someone you can go to. Even if you've just made contact with them, finding a solicitor that you like. So if you have any sort of legal concerns, you've got someone to go to. I've actually used a solicitor to look over a lease before. Sometimes you'll have, when you're in business or when you're self-employed, you'll have a legal document in front of you. So I think it's important to be willing to part with some money to have someone who's a professional to look over that so that they can explain what's going on in that document in a more layperson kind of way. So I've used solicitors a couple of times for that. I think it's also important to get some advice on perhaps where you might be legally vulnerable and how to protect yourself from that. So I think that's important. I also think it's important to have some sort of business development advice. And this usually comes from people in your industry. So for example, I'm connected with a martial arts group from the United States. So they actually provide me with material every month, which lets me know what's going on in the industry as a whole, where the growth areas are in the industry, where the industry is declining. They also provide me with some marketing ideas, some school growth ideas, retention ideas, stuff that I couldn't necessarily gather myself, or if I was to do that, it would take me hundreds and hundreds of hours a month, and this is all done for me in a package that I receive in the mail once a month, which I really appreciate. I also have in the past, I should also mention too, as part of that group, there is also an Australian representative who I can call, and who I do call on a regular basis for advice on different things. And I've also in the past paid for one-on-one consulting. And I found that really helpful in the first 10 to 15 years of my business, just to give me some direction on where my school was heading and how I was sort of running my business. So I was able to get advice from, I've had a coach in Australia who was very good. He was actually from the fitness industry, but he was able to give me lots of advice that crossed over into the martial arts world. And I had a business coach in the United States who ran a martial arts school. I worked with him for about 5 or 6 years, and his advice was invaluable to me. And I hold on to a lot of the lessons that he taught me, and I still use them to this day. So those 3 things, I think it's important if you have a business or if you're self-employed. You need someone who can manage your finances. You need somebody who can help you legally if that's required. And you need somebody who can help you give you advice in having your business for the long term, for the long run. And my advice in seeking someone in that regard is to find someone who's done what you want to do, and they will short track your progress because they've done the hard yards for you. Anyway, that's something I've learnt as a full-time business owner for the last 20 years. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow in day 25. Thank you.